Hey y'all, it's Michelle, and we are on day 12 of our 31 Day Business Challenge. And today we are going into a 5-day series where we're talking about simplifying success for 5 straight days. It all starts here today. Today we are tackling the challenge of getting more people aware of you and what you do, aware that you exist, aware of the services you provide, aware of what you sell. At its most vulgar, most base definition, this is about getting your name out there, right? I say this very, very carefully, knowing that we have 4 additional parts of this 5-part sort of simplifying success little challenge. And I say it very carefully because I know that getting your name out there is a common sort of definition for sales and marketing. It also leads many, many business owners astray. And I'm only addressing it here because I'm trusting you to come back for the most important parts of simplifying success, which are the next 4 parts. The truth is, getting your name out there is a fool's game, right? Typically, when somebody is selling you on getting your name out there, it will cost you money to get exposure, and then you sort of wait and let the exposure overtake you with clients. I have no idea, but it's a common thing that entrepreneurs and small business owners look for are ways to get their name out there. And oftentimes this is an expensive and complex process that I really want to simplify for you today. The first thing is, you don't ever get paid to get your name out there. I just want to make sure that we are, keeping it real here, right? Typically, you pay to get your name out there. You don't get paid when your name is out there. The truth is, you get paid only when your clients come in here, right? Actually, in your business, in your office, on your website, in your store, in your firm, whatever else, right? We simply don't get paid when they hear about us. We get paid only when, once they've heard about us, we have brought them into our world where we can make an offer and get paid. Alas, we do have to get our name out there. We do have to make the right people aware of us in order to, start that process of, sort of like a courting process or a dating process of, meeting them and then getting them interested. And that's what we're going to talk about the rest of the week. But for today, it's all about making more people aware of you. And so here is the challenge. First things first, we want to identify who needs to be made aware of you and your business, right? I want you to answer this in 2 different ways. The first way is an actual list of people, right? People with names and email addresses and Facebook pages, right? Not a demographic. The first way I want you to answer this is who actually needs to know that you exist, right? An actual list of who's. The second way I want to answer this is more in terms of groups of people or demographics, etc. For the first part, which is just that list of who's, you simply want to reach out to them individually, right? So often we have a list of who's. We don't actually write it down though, right? But we have our wish list. We have what Women Who Wow calls their hit list, people that should be working with us and could be working with us, and we need to make them aware of us first. And a lot of times we have sort of an unofficial list, and then we go about doing some sort of mass market things, and we hope that people on the list see it. A couple things about this. The first thing is, I really want you to always have a hit list. There's a couple articles that I've written about that. I'll try to get those and post those below. But we always want to have a hit list, people that we really, really want to work with and do business with, okay? You want to reach out to them very, very directly. Invite these people on your hit list to show up somewhere. The first seeds of Women Who Wow were actually created by me, getting a list of people, women on the internet, and inviting inviting them to a great women's gathering. That was really the very, very teeny seeds, although I didn't know it then, but that was the seeds of Women Who Wow. And it was very, in line with the way I've done the rest of my business. I didn't do sort of mass marketing and hope that people came my way. What I did instead was I actually, had a list of people that I wanted to do business with, and I invited them directly. So this was years before Facebook or even active email use. So I had to actually send a print invite, but it worked well. So the first part is making sure that you know who you're trying to attract in two ways. One, a list of who's, right? An actual list of people that you can reach out to and contact, excuse me. And the second one is the demographic, okay? I really like the hit list approach to getting your name out there because it's a shortcut to sales. It's much more direct. It's a shortcut to not just sales, but, getting private clients, filling events. You just reach out to people and invite them into relationship with you. It's direct, it's authentic, it's service oriented, and it's full of integrity, right? However, we don't want to have just a hit list of who's and then not also do some smart, savvy, marketing and content marketing and messaging that will serve us in a broader perspective in our business. And so that's the second list. That's the groups of people, the demographics of people that you know would make great clients for you or great attendees of your next event or whatever. Excuse me, my nose is itching so bad. So here are some ideas for how to get in front of, to get bigger exposure in front of, to increase a group's awareness of you. Here are some ideas of where to start. So you always want to know a little bit more about your demographic than you already know. I make it my goal to know something more every week about the people that I serve, right? Not just individually, but collectively as well. So here are some questions that should start the brainstorming process for you when it comes to what is a smart way to get my name out there to the right people. So the first part, obviously you've identified the group and demographics, but you want to know more about them. What are they reading, right? What are they reading? One thing that you can do once you find out what they're reading is you can write for that publication. Or you could be written about in that publication, right? If you want to be written about in the media, I'll give you a quick tip. I used to read a bunch of media people, and they'd always talk about going to the editor or the producer or whatever. And I found that to be a very painstaking and frustrating process. And so instead, I started going to contributors, right? Contributors, not to their staff writers, but to people who are just contributing content to that or outlet or publication. So what are they reading? You want to try to get in that publication. What events are they attending? This is an easy thing, right? When you find out what events they attend every year, what events they're attending, you want to figure out how you can speak there, right? Getting speaking gigs, again, a lot easier than most people assume. But if you can't speak there, you don't want to speak there, you can also get a vendor booth, right? To get, to raise your profile at an event that your target market is already attending. And you just want to look for ways to show up somehow and be visible at these events that you know your target market is going to be attending and paying attention to. You also want to ask yourself what they're listening to, right? Podcast or radio shows, who has their ear, what Facebook groups, what, online gurus are they following and tweeting and being, getting in conversation with, because this shows you where you need to show up. So what are they listening to? You can always be interviewed by the people that they're listening to. You can show up in their Facebook groups. You can become visible. You can interview them or be interviewed by them, right? A lot of times I get I get a great deal of, publicity, not so much in being interviewed, but by interviewing other people, right? Other people who have a market, a target market, a tribe, a following that probably should know about Women Who Wow. So we don't need the masses to know who we are in order to totally crush our business and income goals. We just need the right people. We need more of the right people to know who we are. So determine who they are, where they are, what they're reading, who and what they're watching and they're listening to, what events they're attending, and then brainstorm 2 things. How can they be reached one by one, right? And how can they be reached in mass? Tomorrow, we're going to simplify the process of getting these same people, once they're aware of you, getting them interested in what you're doing and the problem that you solve and the specific offer that you have. So, but for today, we just need to brainstorm the who. We need to know them by name, and we need to know them by target demographic. And then we need to start to simplify where you need to show up, how you might show up. Just brainstorm, right? And I'll meet you back here on another live stream tomorrow, right around 10 a.m. I know I came on early today, but I'm going, I'm just busy the rest of the day, so I didn't want to tarry and have to rush through the broadcast. So talk with you guys soon. I'll see you again tomorrow. Any questions that you have for me, just put them below and I'll be sure to answer them, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.